welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Cassie, also known as KnittaCass. This is my YouTube channel where I share about all the things that I am making, patterns I'm drooling over, yarn I'm using, books I'm reading, once in a while a little bit about the Vermont farm life. I live on a small farm in Vermont, but it has not had a lot happening there, so that has been a small segment, and a spice of mental health. So grab your favorite beverage and a project you're working on, and let's sit and chat for a minute. I of course have my Pepsi, which is my life source. So it's been a little bit. I have not been here since December, since Christmas Day, I think is the last time. I did Vlogmas and then life got kind of crazy, and I will talk more about that in the life segment. But it has been taking away from crafting, and it has been taking away from getting to podcasting, even though I have had it on my calendar for weeks. So I have very little to share today, hoping to share a lot more, next time I podcast. However, it might be a lot slower than it typically is because of some of the things that are going on right now. So the biggest thing I want to show you is it's like a big deal for me because I'm really slow at finishing big projects, and this was a big project and I was able to finish it. This is the project that I worked on throughout Vlogmas. I started it on December 1st. This is the Anthology Throw. It's by Helen Stewart. And it is huge. It needs a good blocking. It was made using an advent from Trilogy Yarns. I got her Alice in Wonderland advent. I am obsessed with Alice in Wonderland, and so I had to have it. And the colors are just gorgeous. This pink color is not a color from her. I'm trying to think if it was because the dog ate it or didn't have enough contrast. I can't remember if the last color didn't have enough kind of contrast or was too close to one of the colors, or my dog ate it. I can't quite remember, but I picked out this pink, this hot pink, from one of the mini sets that I got in Rhinebeck, and I think it just does a really good job of popping on the edges and it pulls it together a little bit because there's some pink in here, but it gives it a huge pop of contrast, and I am a huge pink fan. I especially love the way that the edging is. It's gonna be so beautiful blocked out. So that is a big project. I finished it. So I started it on December 1st and I finished it on January, I want to say 10th or 15th, somewhere between the 10th and the 15th, which is way faster than I thought I would. It's super addicting. Even when you get to really large stitch counts, you just want to keep knitting. You want to get to that next special eyelet round. And then also you want to get to your next colors, so it's really addicting. Highly recommend. That needs a good blocking. And then I have just two whips right now. One is a lingering whip that's been in this watermelon tote bag. Uh-oh. One second, the needle stopper is not on the end of my needle. There it is. Might be a little bit interesting when I go to pick it back up. So this is the Starflake shawl. This is a pattern by Stephen West. It starts with this nice star pattern, and then we've got some striping, and now I have started the brioche section, which has done a couple of brioche increases, so that's been really good practice for me. And overall, I'm enjoying the pattern because it's something I've wanted to knit for a long time. However, I ordered sport weight yarn and it just really feels very close to DK, so it doesn't slide as well on my needles, and I don't want to go up in needle size since I've got this much going on, and I don't want to rip back and use different yarn, so I am just kind of sucking it up. I'm hoping to get back to it pretty soon. I am using Brava Sport Weight by Knit Picks in the colorway Sky and in the colorway Celestial. that. And then I am in this bag. This is a bag by Sew Melissa Crafts. It's got a canvas bottom. It's pretty tall. It's got handles, and then it also has like an area here where you have a little drawstring. And let's see if I can show this to you. Inside there's pockets. There's 2 pockets, and there is, well, it's kind of like 2 pockets and then a skinny one that you could maybe put like a couple hooks or needles. And it's got a little clip. Really well made, highly recommend. So in this bag, I have a Court of Mist and Fury inspired cowl. And this is not officially a pattern, but kind of a pattern from, oh, Cassie, why are you so bad at names? Fangirl Fibers. And it is based on one of the A Court of Thorn series books by Sarah Maas. And what she did is she took images from the Summer Doodle Deck by Pacific Knit Co., wrote up in order, patterned in a way that it will look like Valaris, which is a really important city in the book series. And so you ordered a package. It came with the yarn. It came with her little pattern that she has written up, and it came with a Summer Doodle Deck. She does have full permission to do this from Jamie of Pacific Knit Co. And so it's been a lot of fun, and it's looking great. I've got some trees here. I've got some mountains, and I am currently working on the stars. It's really, really pretty, and I am excited to wear it. I'm not like a big neutral fan, but I'm really loving the simplicity of these colors. So it comes with, oh, this is all messy, a main color, which is like an off-white, kind of gray, but not quite. And then it comes with this really pretty purple. It's got some blues in it. It's really pretty blue, kind of a dark blue. It's really pretty green, and there's 2 greens. There's that green, and then there's like a really deep green and a gray. And I was gonna make the stars in gray, but the contrast between the white and the gray, right here, it looks like it would be, you know, enough, but when I was knitting it, it wasn't enough at all. So that is that. That's all I have to share for you for that. I am hoping to cast on the Twisted Tea shorts, and this is a pattern by Little Wolf Knits. I will pop in a picture here. So we are doing a bottoms up make along in the 11 Stitches membership, and you choose anything that covers your bottom you can knit. And I have had these on my like patterns I'm drooling over list for quite a while. And I ordered this gorgeous pink yarn. In case you don't know or you're new here, I am a huge fan of pink. So I'll put a picture of that here too. It is from Yarn Cafe Creations. I have not received it yet, but as soon as I receive it, I'm instantly gonna cast on, and I will bring you along on that journey. I also am thinking about maybe starting to do my tank top since I don't have a lot of time to knit. Starting it now will make sure that I have it for spring. I have a couple that I'm thinking of, so I'll put a couple pictures here. So I'll share those with you, and of course you'll be the first to know when I cast it on. I think that's it knitting related. I know that was really quick, but if I waited to have a lot to share with you, it would be even longer before I popped on here. So the big thing, I have an associate's degree in nursing, and I've always wanted to go back for my bachelor's. I got my degree 4 years ago, but our world was consumed with COVID and trying to come up with a new normalcy. And now that things have settled enough to breathe, I have decided to go back to school. So at the beginning of January, I started going back for my bachelor's. I'm doing it online through the Southern New Hampshire University. And it is a lot harder than I imagined. I have always been really good at schooling, have really enjoyed schooling, but every time that I've gone to school, that's not quite true. every time that I've done class by class, I have been able to do it full time. But whenever I've actually like traditionally gone to school, I worked like only on the weekends or part-time or something. But I'm going for my bachelor's online, and I work full-time. I'm raising some kids still, and I run an after-school program. So it's been consuming a lot of my time, and it's making it so I have a little less time for knitting. I have decided in the last week or so that there are ways that I can schedule a date with myself to do some knitting, and it has helped my mood and my sleep tremendously to not use every little second I have doing schoolwork. So that's really been important. So hopefully you will be able to see some knitting from me. Yeah, that is just taking everything I have out of me. I'm doing decent in the course, but it is a lot. So I'll take you along on that journey too. And I was hoping to kind of like accelerate through it and do it as fast as I can. But I am only taking one class right now. Because of the amount of time it's taking out of me, I think I'm just gonna do one class at a time. They're 8-week classes. They're supposed to be a 16-week class course-wise or like material-wise, but they've condensed it into 8 weeks. So it's pretty intense. So it's going to take me a lot longer to get it than I wanted to, but at least my grades will be better. It's going to be a while, but it'll all be worth it in the long run. What else is going on? Wyatt is still playing basketball, so I've also been like going to his games, and when I'm at work, I'm most of the time able to watch his games in between like work tasks. There are times that we have like downtime where I can set up the game because they're recorded or like streamed, set it on my phone and like walk away as needed. So that's been going on. Weston is just growing. Like, he doesn't have a lot going on. He's really like a home-based kind of person. He's got a few friends that he likes, doesn't really care about being social. He's not antisocial. He's just like, it's not something that drives him. And he's the only kid in this family that has been that way, so it's been a little weird. So he doesn't tend to do like the sportsy stuff. Like, he did football and loved it, which is great, but he's not really, he'd rather be home doing his own thing. So there's not usually a lot to talk about, but he's doing fine. And yeah, Michael is doing fine. He's on his own. He's been on his own for a while now, and he's doing great. Yeah, that's it for that. I do want to explain this. So my daughter doesn't live with us, and this room was my youngest, Weston's room, and he had decided not that long ago that he wanted to move upstairs into one of the bedrooms that his older sibling doesn't live in anymore. So this is being converted into my office. So I've got it set up a little bit on the opposite side of me as like my school area, and then on this side is going to be my yarn and podcasting area. So I have reorganized the way that I've set up the cubbies. This is like a snap and go situation, and I've dragged all my yarn in here, and I just have to actually make time to put it up here. So I'll put just a little bit of footage in here of like my general idea of what I want to do. Okay, so this is the setup, and I've got some bigger areas. So I've got this as a bigger cubby instead of a smaller cubby like that, and I have in it my Cozy Memories blanket and some minis in it, and then leftovers. Most of these are leftovers from socks, it looks like, and they're not enough to go in my magic knot ball, or they're too much to go in my magic knot ball, and I haven't quite figured out what to do with them, and I like the way they are in the basket. This is my Rhinebeck basket. I only call it that because it's still got all my stuff from Rhinebeck in it, but I'm hoping to put that in some places and just keep my basket there for a grab and go. And then I've got my blocking mats and my towels that I use for when I'm blocking. Got this a little bit bigger. I'm not sure if I'm going to put books or baskets or like totes like this with some stuff in it. So I'm going to go through this massive bin and also decide where I'm going to put all these minis from my advent. For a spice of mental health, this is something that I needed all week this week, and I saw it on an influencer's Facebook group. So the message this week is to forgive yourself for how do they say it? Forgive yourself for every time you were not perfect this week. And I think that is great for all of us. So give yourself a little grace and take care of yourself. There's a lot of illness going around, so make sure you're getting plenty of sleep and drinking plenty of fluids and washing those hands. And I hope that I find you well, and I will see you again soon. Bye.